Welcome back to Before AGI Weekly, your essential AI news digest. This week we're diving into a collection of sources that paint a picture of an AI landscape that's, well, it's not just evolving, it's fracturing, consolidating, and becoming more accessible all at once.
Yeah, you could say that. It's like watching tectonic plates shift, really. What was once a pretty unified landscape is now breaking apart and kind of reforming into something entirely new.
So where should we start with all of this? I'm thinking maybe the rise of geopolitical AI. It feels like we're on the brink of a new kind of arms race. But instead of nukes, it's algorithms and processing power.
Exactly. And the U.S. is making a huge statement with Project Stargate, pledging a whopping $500 billion.
500 billion, wow.
It's a lot, yeah. And it's not just about funding research either. It's like a declaration of intent. The U.S. is signaling that it intends to remain the global leader in AI no matter the cost.
No matter the cost, huh? What about other players? I mean, India, for instance, is tripling its AI budget and aiming for what they're calling AI sovereignty.
Right. It's like they're saying we want to be AI powerhouses, but we're going to do it on our own terms. Imagine a country controlling its own AI destiny, not relying on others for critical technology. That's the idea behind AI sovereignty, and it's gaining traction worldwide.
It makes sense when you think about it that way.
But it's not without its complexities either. We're also seeing India ban AI tools, things like ChatGPT and DeepSeek, on government devices due to those data privacy concerns. It really highlights that balancing act between fostering innovation and safeguarding national interests.
For sure, it's a tightrope walk. And then there's China, where DeepSeek is making waves. Their $6 million AI model is really proving you don't need billions to compete with giants like OpenAI and Google.
This is a crucial takeaway. It really challenges that assumption that only megacorporations can drive AI innovation. Suddenly, the playing field feels a lot more level.
Right. This brings us to our next big theme, the democratization of AI. We're seeing this trend play out in a few different ways. You've got DeepSeek, showing that smaller players can create competitive AI models. And then there's AMD with their new Athena chip architecture, challenging NVIDIA's dominance and potentially making high-performance computing more affordable. And finally, the open source movement is exploding, giving even individuals the tools to build sophisticated AI applications.
It's a lot like the early days of the internet, when suddenly everyone had the power to publish content and connect with the world. I think we could be on the verge of a similar explosion of creativity and innovation in the AI space.
It's kind of mind-blowing. I mean, think about Replit's phone app. It lets you build basic apps just by describing what you want.
That's a perfect example. No coding experience required, just your imagination and a clear goal. But this democratization also raises some important questions about security and, responsible use.
Yeah, exactly. We saw reports about those vulnerabilities in DeepSeek's AI chatbot, and that's a little unnerving. It underscores the need for robust security measures, especially as AI tools become more widely available.
For sure. It's a good reminder that even the most promising technologies come with risks. And as AI becomes more powerful and accessible, it's our responsibility to ensure it's used ethically and responsibly. But on the flip side, this accessibility could also lead to a surge in innovation as more people experiment and build new applications. We might even see entirely new industries emerge from this.
It's almost like we're watching the birth of a new renaissance, powered by AI. Speaking of things that sound like they're straight out of science fiction, let's talk about the shift from tools to agents. This week, sources are buzzing about AI that can actually DO things, not just answer questions or generate text.
This is where things get interesting. It's where we start to see the line blur between AI as a tool and AI as a collaborator. We're talking about AI that can understand complex instructions, learn from its experiences, and even make independent decisions to achieve a goal.
And this is where things start to get really interesting. For example, OpenAI has this deep research agent that can synthesize information from over 100 sources, even PDFs, and create detailed reports in minutes. It's like having a research assistant that never sleeps.
Right. And it's not just about speed, though. These agents are becoming increasingly capable of understanding the nuances of human language and adapting their behavior accordingly.
Exactly. OpenAI also has this thing called Operator, which they say can already handle a single-digit percentage of all economically valuable tasks.
And while that might seem like a small number, it represents a monumental shift. We're no longer just talking about AI automating repetitive tasks. We're talking about AI taking on roles that require creativity, judgment, and even a degree of strategic thinking.
It's starting to feel like we're on the verge of something truly revolutionary, but it makes you wonder, are these agents just super efficient tools? Or are they the first signs of something more artificial general intelligence? I mean, why Accommodator actively seeking startups that are building the infrastructure and applications for this agent-driven world?
That's a great point. It's a sign that the most forward-thinking minds in tech see this as more than just a passing trend. They're betting on a future where humans and AI agents work side by side, each leveraging their unique strengths to achieve common goals.
It's all pretty mind-blowing, but what does it actually mean for our listeners? I mean, it's easy to get lost in all the hype and jargon.
It means that the AI revolution is accelerating and becoming more accessible. This creates incredible opportunities for those who are willing to adapt and learn new skills. It also raises important questions about the future of work, the role of government in regulating AI, and the ethical implications of increasingly intelligent machines.
That's just the tip of the iceberg. Join us in part 2 as we delve even deeper into this week's AI news, exploring the potential impact of AI agents on the future of work and unpacking those big questions about ethics and regulation.
Welcome back to Before AGI Weekly. We just explored how AI is becoming more fragmented and accessible, but now we're going to kind of dive into the deep end. You ready? Great. We're going to talk about AI agents and why everyone from, well, venture capitalists to tech enthusiasts are buzzing about them.
It's one thing to have an AI that can, say, write a poem or summarize a document, but AI that can take actions in the real world, that feels like a whole different ballgame.
It is. It really is. Think of it like this. We've been using AI tools, kind of like hammers and screwdrivers.
Okay, I get that.
But now we're starting to build AI that's more like a robotic arm, capable of performing those complex tasks with, well, minimal human guidance.
I see. I'm starting to get the picture, but before we get too carried away with the robot arm analogy, let's define what we're even talking about here. What exactly is an AI agent?
Sure. In essence, an AI agent is a piece of software that can make decisions and take actions on its own to achieve a specific goal.
So kind of like a virtual assistant on steroids.
Yeah, exactly. Not only can it schedule your meetings and, book your flights, but it can also learn from its experiences and adapt to those changing circumstances.
So instead of just following pre-programmed instructions, these agents can actually think on their feet and make judgments based on the information they gather.
Precisely. They can analyze data, identify patterns, and even come up with those creative solutions to problems that, well, that we humans might not have even considered.
Okay, this is starting to sound a little bit science fiction-y. Are we talking about like robots taking over the world here?
Not quite, at least not yet. But we are talking about a fundamental shift in the way we interact with technology.
How so?
Instead of giving AI commands, we're going to be collaborating with it, delegating tasks and working together to achieve, those common goals.
So more like teammates than tools.
Exactly. And the implications of this are huge, both for the world of work and for, society as a whole.
Right. Earlier, we talked about OpenAI's deep research agent that can sift through mountains of data and write reports in minutes. That's impressive enough, but then you have things like OpenAI's operator, which they claim can already handle a small percentage of all economically valuable tasks.
It was a single-digit percentage, but yes.
Right.
And that percentage is only going to grow as AI agents become more sophisticated. We're already seeing them being used in fields like finance, healthcare, and marketing. And as these agents become more capable, they're going to start taking on roles that were, well, once thought to be exclusively human.
This brings us back to that big question of job displacement. I mean, are AI agents going to, steal all our jobs?
It's a valid concern and one that we need to, address proactively. There's no doubt that some jobs will be automated as AI agents become more capable, but history has shown that those technological advancements tend to create more jobs than they destroy.
So there's hope.
There is, definitely. The key is to adapt and evolve, to focus on developing skills that complement AI rather than competing with it.
So what are those skills? I mean, what should our listeners be focusing on to thrive in this AI-powered future?
The skills that will be most valuable in an AI-driven world are those that are uniquely human. Creativity, critical thinking, problem-solving, communication, and, well, emotional intelligence. These are the skills that AI agents still struggle with, and they're the ones that will, set humans apart in the job market.
So it's not just about learning how to code or becoming a data scientist. It's about cultivating those human qualities that make us adaptable, insightful, and compassionate.
You got it. Because at the end of the day, AI is a tool. And like any tool, it can be used for good or for evil. It's up to us as humans to guide its development and ensure that it's used to create a better future for everyone.
I like that. And we've talked about, the impact on individual jobs, but what about the broader economic implications? Some people are worried that AI could lead to massive wealth inequality, with the benefits accruing to a select few.
It's a legitimate concern and one that we need to address through, well, thoughtful policy and regulation. We need to make sure that the benefits of AI are shared broadly and that everyone has the opportunity to, thrive in this new economy.
So are we talking about things like universal basic income or taxing AI profits?
Those are certainly ideas worth exploring. We also need to invest in those education and training programs to help people, adapt to the changing job market and develop the skills they need to succeed.
It sounds like there's a lot of work to do, both on an individual and a societal level.
Yeah, there is. But you know what? I'm optimistic. I believe that AI has the potential to solve some of humanity's biggest challenges and create a more equitable and prosperous future for everyone.
I like that optimism. It's easy to get caught up in the doom and gloom scenarios, but it's important to remember that we have the power to shape the future of AI.
We do, and that's why it's so important to stay informed, engaged, and, involved in the conversations that are shaping this technology.
Exactly. We can't just sit back and let the, tech giants decide our fate. We need to be active participants in shaping the future we want to see.
Couldn't agree more. And speaking of shaping the future, there's another aspect of AI that's, well, rapidly evolving. The hardware and infrastructure that makes all this possible.
Right, because as amazing as these AI agents are, they're still just lines of code without the processing power to bring them to life.
Exactly. And that's where things get really interesting because the battle for AI hardware supremacy is, well, it's heating up, with new players challenging NVIDIA's dominance.
Intriguing. Let's dive into that in part 3, where we'll explore the future of AI, hardware, and infrastructure. We'll discuss whether NVIDIA can, hold on to its crown and what it all means for the future of AI. Welcome back to Before AGI Weekly. We've covered a lot of ground, from that geopolitical AI landscape to the rise of AI agents.
Yeah, we have.
And now, for the final act of our deep dive, we're going to shine a spotlight on something that's, well, often overlooked, but absolutely crucial: the hardware and infrastructure that powers the AI revolution.
It's true. It's easy to get swept up in the excitement of those cutting-edge algorithms and, well, those mind-blowing applications. But without the right hardware and infrastructure, all of those advancements are just, theoretical possibilities.
It's like having a world-class orchestra, but without any instruments.
Exactly. A very expensive room full of people miming.
Yeah, exactly. So let's talk about the instruments of the AI world. For years, NVIDIA has been the, well, undisputed king of AI hardware, right?
Right.
Their GPUs have been the go-to choice for training and running those massive AI models we've been discussing.
And for good reason, too. NVIDIA's GPUs are incredibly powerful and, well-suited for the parallel processing demands of those AI workloads.
For sure. But as we've seen this week, the landscape is shifting.
It is.
DeepSeek showed that you don't need to spend billions on hardware to develop competitive AI models.
Right.
And then you have AMD coming in strong with their new Athena architecture, which promises more affordable and energy-efficient AI processing.
This is a classic example of how competition drives innovation. NVIDIA's enjoyed a comfortable lead for a while now, but they're facing those serious challengers.
They are.
And that's good news for everyone, from researchers and startups to, large enterprises.
Because it means more choices, lower prices, and faster progress.
Exactly.
But it's not just about GPUs anymore, is it?
It's not.
The shift from pre-training to inference scaling is putting new demands on AI hardware.
That's right. As AI models become more complex and, require real-time processing, we need hardware that can handle those workloads efficiently.
So it's not just about raw power anymore.
Yep.
It's about things like latency, energy efficiency, and that ability to handle massive amounts of data in real time.
You got it. And this is where, that specialized hardware like Google's TPUs and Intel's Habana-Gaudi processors come into play.
Like those specialized chips.
Yeah. These chips are designed specifically for AI inference, and they're starting to, well, challenge the dominance of those traditional GPUs.
It's like the AI hardware market is suddenly a wide-open race, with multiple contenders vying for the lead.
It is.
And then there's the cloud.
Oh, yeah.
It's becoming increasingly clear that the cloud is, well, going to play a pivotal role in the future of AI.
Because training and running these massive AI models requires enormous amounts of computing power and storage.
It does.
And most organizations simply don't have the resources to, build and maintain their own data centers at that scale.
That makes sense.
So the cloud providers like Amazon Web Services, Microsoft Azure, and Google Cloud are stepping up to fill that gap. They're offering access to, powerful virtual machines, specialized AI hardware, and pre-trained AI models, all through easy-to-use cloud services.
It's like the cloud is leveling the playing field, giving everyone the tools they need to, well, innovate and build that next generation of AI-powered applications.
Exactly. And as the AI ecosystem, continues to evolve, we can expect to see even more innovation in both hardware and infrastructure, from new chip architectures to, more sophisticated cloud services. The race is on to provide the foundation for the AI-powered future.
It's an exciting time to be following the AI world, that's for sure. And whether you're a tech professional, entrepreneur, or just a, curious observer, it's clear that AI is going to have a profound impact on all our lives.
No doubt about it. So stay informed, stay engaged, and, keep exploring the possibilities. Because the AI revolution is, well, it's just getting started.
It is. And remember, if you want to dive even deeper into the world of AI, be sure to subscribe to Before AGI Weekly for your weekly dose of AI insights. And check out the Ian Ochieng AI YouTube channel for in-depth tutorials. Until next week, keep learning and keep pushing the boundaries of what's possible with AI.